Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is a beautiful spring day today, but it is late. It is already like 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and that is because my daughters are on spring break this week. So they are home, they are relaxing, they are hanging out. Shay made us pancakes this morning, and I've been hanging out with them, and then finally I was like, I gotta go do something, you guys. I gotta go out into the garden. I gotta get some work done. I am not on spring break, so I am out here. It's a little bit late, but that's okay. I have time at least because the sun doesn't set for a couple hours. So I am out here in the back garden today. There's the greenhouse, and today I want to work on watering. You guys, you all know I've told you a little bit about how concerned I am about water here in this property. And again, I think it's just because I just moved here. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with it, but basically we are on a well. The well doesn't have the best pressure. I'm planning to have way more plants than I've ever had in my garden before, and I have to hook everything up on drip, and I'm just worried about I just, you know, it's a concern of the unknown, basically. So anyway, I'm back here in the garden. I want to hook more stuff up onto drip so I can start my drip system. And then the other problem that I had was that my hose over by my house doesn't reach, my 82-foot long Hoselink doesn't reach all the way comfortably, easily, all the way back to my greenhouse. And so I had told you all that and said that I was probably going to have a plumber come out here, or I don't know, a landscape contractor or something. And then somebody, one of you, actually a couple of you, said, why don't you just hook a hose up to a hose bib and bring it out here and hook it to another hose out here? And it was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So thank you to all of you who left that comment. That is exactly what I'm doing today. So Hoselink heard that my hose way over there at my house, hooked onto my house, didn't reach all the way back to my greenhouse. So they sent me another one. Yes, I know, I'm so spoiled. This is an 82-foot charcoal Hoselink, excuse me. They are such a sweet company, you guys. I love working for them. They're so fantastic. So thank you, a huge thank you to Hoselink. That, I recognize how lucky I am. I get it. It is so great. But let me show you the post here. So Isaac and Milo helped me install this. It's very, very easy. I can't believe how easy it is to install posts. So basically you just dig a hole. We just auged a hole, put this post, this is a 4x4 post, down into it. Actually, first we put a couple inches of gravel at the bottom of the hole, so that if there is any water, it will sit down at the gravel and it won't touch the bottom of the piece of wood. And that's just will make it last longer and not rot. And then you actually go and you purchase what's called post cement. You pour the bag of post cement into the hole, and then you pour it with water, mix it in, and then you just make sure it's level as it's curing. We let it cure for about, this has been here for I think 3 days now, but I think you want to let it cure for about 24 hours, and that's it. Then you're done. Then you can hook the Hoselink on the post right here, and it's a piece of cake. So then Jason went out and bought this. This is the contractor hose that is going to hook up to this hose bib right here. This is my office, and it's just going to hook up to this hose bib. Now, this hose bib is not... It doesn't have the best pressure, which we'll see about that. I don't know why it doesn't have as good a pressure, but I do have another hose bib over by the pump house if I absolutely have to, but we want to try this one first. So basically, I'm just going to hook the hose up to the hose bib, bury it underneath the mulch, all this kind of stuff. So then the contractor's hose will connect to the Hoselink that I'm going to install on this post, and then I will be able to reach everything back here into my greenhouse, behind the greenhouse, the fairy garden, all the no-till beds. I'm really excited to get that in. I think it'll just be kind of like I don't want to say like a stress reliever for me, but kind of a stress reliever for me, because I'm just worried about all this stuff getting water. And then after I'm done installing the Hoselink, that shouldn't take me too long, I will get working on irrigation. But let me get the Hoselink on first. So in every Hoselink box, there's a bracket, and this is what the Hoselink hangs on. And if you look behind the bracket, that's where they keep the hardware. So you can just take the hardware off. The first thing you want to do is you want to use this as kind of your stencil. So you just put it where you want it, and then you take a pen or a pencil and you just mark it. So then you take your drill and you put in a 3/16 inch drill bit on it, and then you drill all your holes about 2 inches deep. Okay, then you're gonna get that hardware back out. You're gonna open it up, and then if you're doing it like I'm doing it into a post, you can just get rid of these because you don't need them. What you do need are these 4 screws right here, and then these 4 washers right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a washer on each screw, and then you're gonna put that whole thing into the hole of the bracket and into the post. Okay, so I just get them in the post, and then I'm gonna take my socket wrench and tighten it up. All right, I think that's tight. Done. Well, almost. Hey, it matches my overalls perfectly. Totally planned. Okay, let's see how much pressure I have. I'm not expecting full pressure. I'll be happy with anything. Woohoo! Not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. So the other hose bib I know of is over there on the other side of the metal workshop. I'll look at it, but you know what? I'm just happy to have some water back here. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how happy I am to have that hose back there. It's just kind of a relief because it's been so stressful, like watering the greenhouse and watering the sunflowers. And it's kind of like, okay, I know I got to get everything hooked up on drip, but it was even hard for me to get back there with a hose. So awesome. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my irrigation supplies, my drip irrigation supplies. They're kind of spread all over because I was just working at Andrea and Bruce's. So I've got some in my car. I've got some in the metal workshop. I've got some in the garage. I got to get organized. So let me get my irrigation wagon back together. That is this little wagon I had right here. Last year, I had made it into my drip irrigation wagon so I could have all the stuff together. Let me get that back together, and then I'll get started on drip. All right, so here is my irrigation wagon all stocked up for the season. Well, all stocked up for the beginning of the season. I don't know how much I'm going to go through. We'll see. So it makes me feel good to have this all stocked up because it makes me feel like it'll be a lot easier to get all the irrigation that I need done. So I have a 1,000-foot spool of the spaghetti tubing, so that's good. I'm definitely going to use that. These are my 1-inch to 5/8 inch couplers. So my main line that comes off of my manifold, they're all 1-inchers right here. And then to tap off of them for, I guess I would say my medium tubing, I use one of these couplers, basically just cut the 1 inch in half and put these on. And then I can connect my 5/8 inch, which is, I have a spool over here. So at my last property, I used the Rainbird brand that you can just get from Home Depot. And this size tubing for Rainbird comes in 1/2-inch tubing. And so that's what I'm used to. That's what I usually use. But for this property, I decided that I was going to go to like a wholesaler, irrigation supply warehouse, and they have one in the next town over. And they don't sell Rainbird. They sell another brand called Netafim. And their mid-size tubing comes in 5/8 inch, which I find extremely annoying, but it is what it is. And it was a lot cheaper to convert to this size here for my property because I could get like big rolls of it basically, as opposed to the Rainbird at Home Depot that I could only get like 50-foot long rolls. So anyways, this is 5/8 inch. And so that's going to be my medium sized. And then again, coming off of that, I'm going to tap into that with the 1/4-inch tubing. And I tap in just like I would have with the 1/2-inch with couplers like this, just like that. So really, really easy. You can see this is my organizer that still has Rainbird stuff in it. So these are all 1/2-inch couplers. So these won't work for me anymore, but the goof plugs will work for me. And the T couplers, all the 1/4-inch stuff will work for me. So then I have all my 1/2 gallon per hour emitters. Again, this is the Netafim brand, which is just the brand that they had at the irrigation supply warehouse. So these are all 1/2 gallon per hour. These are all 1 gallon per hour, which is the main size I use. These do come in like 2 gallon per hour and 4 gallon per hour, but these are the main ones that I use in my garden. So then I have this giant box of landscape staples, which is one of the things that I run out of all the time, absolutely all the time. I go through so many of these. So I think I got 1,000 of those. I found that they are cheap. I don't get them at the irrigation warehouse. I get them on Amazon, and to me, they're cheapest on Amazon. And then I have scissors in here just to cut things. And then I have this little hole punch thing. I can get it out. And this is to punch into the 5/8 inch tubing so that I can get those 1/4-inch couplers in. And it's very, very useful. I use it all the time. So yeah, so that's everything I have. I'm sure I missed something, but I will add it in and let you all know. I think I'm going to get started over here because I do have that coupler in already, and I would love to get everything behind the greenhouse hooked up to drip. We'll see if I can get that done. Anyway, all right, let me get started. Okay, so it is about 6 o'clock right now, and I think I'm gonna call it for the day. I did not get anywhere near done what I wanted to get done, but that is okay. Like I said, my daughters are on spring break and I'm getting called inside, and priorities, right? So the most important thing is that I did get water to back here with the Hoselink, and that I feel good about. And then at least I got started with the drip irrigation. You know, getting set up is kind of the hardest thing, you know, getting all my equipment out and getting it all organized. And now I just have to do it. So it's just going to take some time, and little by little, I'm just going to come through and, you know, keep hooking up a bunch of plants each time. And I say this every year, and I don't do it every year. Every time I always say, every time I plant a plant, I'm going to get it hooked up to drip right then and there. Never happens, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So what I did get done today is I did get the 5/8 inch tubing hooked up, all ready to go, ready to be tapped into with the 1/4 inch tubing and the emitters. And so you can see it's coming all the way through here, all the way back behind the greenhouse, ready to go. And then it comes around and it hooks back up over here, which is where the 1 inch tubing ends for the backyard. Right there. See how I hooked it up? So then I just started from there. I hooked up my Gertrude Jekyll rose. That got 1 gallon per hour. I hooked up my Breath of Heaven. This one's not doing well. I don't know what's wrong with it, but that's okay. We will figure that out later. And then I hooked up this rose, this Iceberg Standard. That got 1 gallon per hour. And then all the sunflowers over here got 1/2 gallon per hour. And I'm going to stop there, but you know, at least I got all this stuff all set up and it's ready to go. And honestly, I was taking my sweet time. I was weeding as I was going. I was just going really slow. So that's all right. I got stuff done. I got water, which is the big thing. Monty's interested in all this stuff. So anyway, at least I can start running my drip irrigation and get some of it watered back here, and then I don't have to water as much. But now it'll be easier for me to water, which is huge. So we're getting there. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.